Hello, everyone. This is episode one of Let's Talk About It with Tyrese. And in today's episode, we will be talking about when in a relationship, when too much communication doesn't help you, or how to say, like, how you pick and choose what you let your significant other know. Because not to say that you're supposed to be around here dating motherfuckers with interior motives or secrets and stuff like that, but when you're first entertaining a nigga or a bitch, whoever it is, I feel like you should, once again, this is my personal opinion and my personal sake, people feel how they feel about the shit. A fuck was never given, so. But I feel if though when you over confide in a man or woman, it doesn't help you. When you're a person who's, like, for me, for instance, like, I'm a person that cares too much a lot of times, and I love a lot. So I'm the type of person, if I'm entertaining a person and I'm confiding in them some things that happened in my past, my life, or whatever, that shaped me into who I am, or what created me into who I am, like, now. And then sometimes the relationship goes south, or sometimes y'all are in a heated argument, and you're not the type of bitch, or I'm not the type of bitch to be like, oh, I'm finna bring up what you told me back 2005, because that really that hurt you, so I'm finna hurt you. Me, I would never do it, because you told me that in confidence. That's not even on my mind. My mind is on what we're currently arguing about or what our current situation is on. But if you bring it up, or if you tell, or you say something like, "Oh yeah, bitch, that's why you fucked up now because of what happened." Woo, you sat on that, you ate that, you waited for that. And this is not even about, like, relationship. This can go for friendship. This can go for work relationships. This can go for anything, because when you communicate a lot to a motherfucker, that, or even not even that much, just a little bit, and they run with it or they try to spin it and do too much, that's when you know you got the type of person around you and the type of individual around you that is not for you. They're not good for you, because they the type of motherfuckers to take your personal opinions, your personal feelings, and use them against you as ammunition to hurt you, destroy you, or make you feel less than. And I don't like that, because I feel like if you love me, or if you're in a relationship and you say that you love me, everything I tell you, you should try to want to help me fix it, because I'm a type of bitch. If and don't get me wrong, I am not saying sit up here and fix a motherfucker and try to help a motherfucker out and do all that. But if the communication is there and y'all have that relationship build up where he or she is telling you their problems and you're telling them your problems, and y'all are trying to cohesively work together, and I probably said that wrong. Cohesively. There we go. That's what the fuck I was trying to say. Cohesively. Y'all are trying to cohesively, like, get that shit together, and y'all both are building each other. That is perfect. That is what the fuck it's built for. That's what the basis of communication is. Is once you learn how to communicate, or you learn the communication, because communication is an umbrella. It's not going to be one thing. It's not going to be, oh, if I talk to you like this in this relationship, that's how I communicate. Yes, with that nigga, with that bitch. You with a new nigga, you with a new bitch, you in a new situation, you in a new job, you with work new coworkers. People's communications are different. People's languages are different. And I'm not even talking about just speaking another language. I'm talking about how they conduct themselves, how they speak, their speech pattern, how they ask questions, how they do their day to day, and their vocal patterns, and how they conduct themselves, and what they say and how they say it and what it means to them. That is what true understanding of communication is, because what you're doing is you're trying to adapt to their communicational skills, as well as hopefully they're trying to adapt to yours, so that y'all can get some type of underground underpinning where it's like, okay, When I'm not in the mood or I'm irritated or I'm getting through it, he knows, she knows, because I say this thing, I say that thing. And then your spouse should be able to understand off bat, oh, baby's not in the mood right now. Oh, he not in the mood. She's not in the mood. Because they've said that thing to me. Or their communication can be where it's like, oh, I love you. I want to be up under you. And that may not be for you. Because you told them a long time ago you was up under a nigga. And that nigga did you wrong. So now you don't want to be up under niggas. You don't want to love niggas. Or that bitch did you wrong. So now you don't want to give your heart to bitches. You don't want to tell bitches your ambitions, your goals. You don't want to tell bitches shit. Because the last 3 bitches broke your heart and destroyed you. And did all these bad things to you. So now you communicate differently when you're around bitches. You communicate differently. And that's why I say people don't realize, like, when you enter relationships with a people, and once you leave them people alone, you're changed forever. Even though, don't get me wrong, if it's like a week or something, 2 weeks, that ain't shit. But if you're investing months to years with a motherfucker, yes, they're going to have changed you. And I love when people are like, oh no, I've always been there, bitch. These niggas could never, these bitches could never. Sweetheart, in order for you to become the bitch that you say that you are, you're going to have to go through those things first. And it's okay to have fell in love with a motherfucker, communicate with a motherfucker. And I mean over communicate. It's okay to do that, but you need to learn from that. Because during the moment, yes, y'all were in the moment. Y'all were feeling that shit. Y'all were loving each other. Y'all were talking to each other. Y'all were in each other's faces 24/7. But now, it's a different type of vibe with him. Like, he's not going to give you that anymore. She's not going to give you that anymore. So you need to move accordingly. Because just because they fell in love with you and you fell in love with them doesn't mean the love was going to last. Doesn't mean you were supposed to get married to the motherfucker. Because a lot of times people plan their whole lives around motherfuckers who are just trying to teach them something. And I'm not saying don't go around this world being cold. Don't go around this world not talking to motherfuckers. Talk. You're human. As a human, we're naturally going to want to have to communicate to a motherfucker. That's we're humans. We're people. Like, people always think of humans differently than animals, even though we're the top of the food chain. But here's the thing. We're both living organisms with a fucking brain. Now, some living organisms have brains, and only thing their job is to do is to reproduce and sustain or sustain their lives, or whatever the case is. It's called shit. Shout out to my bitch. Was she my biology teacher? Miss Donegan. Even though I used to call the bitch Abigail when I was in school, now I call the bitch Miss Donegan outside of school. I don't know. But she used to, like, she taught us, it was like you got 2 ones, like, when it comes, like, to the animal kingdom, and you have ones that are doing self-sustaining or who do reproduction. So it's like creatures who know, like, okay, only thing I can do is either fucking have kids, or I can just make sure I survive up until I'm dead, or I'm going to adapt to my surroundings. So I say that to say this: as a human, we are on a higher level of consciousness and thinking where we can communicate with each other. And with people, we are what you call, we're social creatures. There we go. And we're going to always try to find a person or a place or something to give us some type of connection. And then we're going to build off that connection, and we're going to try to create a world around that. But when you learn how to communicate, and I'm talking about relationship, I'm talking about work, I'm talking about friendship. When you learn how to mimic your own thoughts and like, basically you have to trick yourself in a way to communicate better. Because when you think, when you're thinking about writing a speech or talking to a motherfucker or sending a risky text or whatever the case may be, bitch, you're over there thinking 85 times about this motherfucking text. You done texted 87 times. You done deleted it, did it again. You done called 85 of your bitches like, girl, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I'm trying to tell this nigga because I'm trying to woo. So it's like, You try so hard to say like the right shit because you want that motherfucker to when you say what you say, they know what you say, they know what you mean, and you about that business. But that takes time, that takes dedication, and it definitely takes experience. And I feel like a lot of people in my generation don't want to experience because they feel like once I get my heart broken, like why? Or once I feel like a friend has betrayed me, why? That's life, baby. It even says in the Bible, it says people who are good and righteous are still going to have a few days of trouble. Now, I may have not said it correctly, but I ad-libbed it. So that means you can be a great person in life and still have issues, still have a nigga do you wrong, still have a nigga throw what you told them in your face. And don't get me wrong, it hurts when you confide in a person and you talk to a person and then they throw it in your face or they bring it up in a way or a manner for which it hurts your feeling or makes you feel less than. And I'm here to tell you, baby, you're living in your truth, so what the fuck is wrong with that? You had enough balls, you had enough gumption, you had enough gall in yourself that you was like, I feel whatever I went through, and then once I talk to this person about it, I feel that I can communicate that to them because they're giving me this safe space, this comfortable space. And then once they take that from you by throwing it in your face, or even if you hear like through the grapevine, like as a friend, like, damn, bitch, you been talking about me, or even as a coworker, like, oh, I heard you said this, or I heard you said that, or whatever the case is. It's like, yeah, eat that. And what I mean by eat that, I mean we have to be okay with accepting bullshit. And I mean not accepting to where it's like, I'm going to take your bullshit in, I'm going to deal with your bullshit. I mean accept that bullshit occurs. Because a lot of times we be so thrown aback by like, what the fuck, why would you do? I thought. That was your first mistake, bitch, you thought. And one thing about thinking and assumptions, you get yourself caught up in there. And like I say, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's okay with being wrong. Even though that does sound redundant or it sounds contradicting, it's true. Because even wrong is still okay. And by that I mean, like, you ever been in class with your teacher and you doing the work, the lessons and shit, and the fucking teacher tell your ass, okay, I see that the class still needs to work on chapter 9 because a lot of these questions were wrong. And then the teacher go around and say, it's okay. You're still trying to learn the concept, or you're still trying to grasp what the author was talking about in the text. Or if it's in your math class, or if it's in your biology class, you're still trying to grasp the parts of the human body. You're still trying to grasp that mass function. You're still trying to understand life. You're still trying to grasp on how to function. So it's okay to get in relationships, to have friends, to have coworkers. It's okay to make mistakes. That is the purpose of life. Thank you for listening to my first episode. Please like and subscribe and share. I can't wait to hear you guys' feedback on how you guys liked it or if it was helpful or not. As well as I can't wait to drop next week's episode, which would be work relationships. Be safe, stay blessed. Until next time, see you.